Without doubt, one of the best cars we've driven this year has been the BMW 1 Series. The boys from Bavaria finally have a package that can beat the A3 to the top of the premium compact section, which is no mean feat considering that Audi invented the class. Now, 4 months later, we're in Spain to see if Audi can take back the title. This is their challenger, the third generation A3. The model still sits at the top of the sales charts, but the aforementioned 1 Series is a serious threat to that status, and this new car needs to be something special in order to beat off the strong challenge from BMW. A3 range has been simplified somewhat. It's done away with the previous attraction and ambition badges in favor of more conventional series names. There are the entry-level S models, not to be confused with other S cars that usually top a particular Audi range, followed by SE and topped off by the Quattro models. Obviously, they all have varying degrees of spec, but there's one very obvious element that they all share: a lack of any major departure in the styling from the A3 that's currently on our roads. At first glance, it looks more like a facelift than a complete reworking. It seems they've taken the Aston Martin approach to design, tweaked a few things and called it a new model. But with the help of a second glance and some paperwork, I did find out there are quite a few things that have changed. The most obvious changes are the things that manufacturers most obviously go for when creating a new generation: headlights and tail lights. I was never entirely convinced by the styling of the soon-to-be replaced A3. For me, the 3-door in particular was a little chunky, and while the Sportback was the better-looking option, it certainly wasn't fantastic. Things have improved, thankfully. The new A3 may not be a massively changed car, but what they've concentrated on has made a huge difference. The rear has a pared down look, the lights are just slivers of their former selves, and it makes for a very attractive, if not slightly menacing, rear end. In front, the trimming down continues, with slimmer headlights and the obligatory integrated daytime running lights. Full LED headlights are on the way. The single-frame grille dominates what is a very attractive face, and our top-of-the-range test car features front fog lights. The A3 range will feature both petrol and diesel engines, but for our test drive we've chosen the 1.8 TFSI Petrol with 132 kilowatts and 250 Newton meters. It's available as a front-wheel drive with a choice of gearboxes, but we've got the Quattro with S-Tronic. Usually you get 7 gears in an S-Tronic box, but for A3 models equipped with Quattro, you get just 6. Of the models offered in the initial launch later this year, the only model offered with a choice of gearboxes will be the 1.8 TFSI SE. The 1.4 petrol will have a manual and the 1.6 diesel a 7-speed S-Tronic. One of the more interesting bits of tech to be revealed on the launch is Audi's latest 103 kilowatt 1.4 motor with cylinder-on-demand technology. Basically, the engine will completely shut down 2 cylinders under certain conditions in order to improve efficiency. It's not a new thing, but it's usually reserved for bigger engines. For example, a V8 that shuts down 4 of its cylinders can be found in the Chrysler 300C. Audi claim the switching process is seamless, won't make a difference to the drive or the sound of the engine, and it'll have the same sort of fuel consumption as a similar diesel unit. The motor will be available in the A3 from 2013. There have been some pretty big changes to the A3, although it's likely no one will really notice them because it's all under-the-skin type stuff. They've gone on a particular mission to save weight in this new car, a mission so intense they've actually given it a name, Audi Ultra. Using lightweight construction technology throughout the car provides obvious benefits like fuel saving, but also, Audi claims, provides a smoother ride. The whole efficiency thing has been killed a bit by the manufacturers, not because they're just talking and not doing anything about it, but because it seems to be at the core of every single idea that they have. Fortunately though, there are some engineers that still care about decent output engines and all-wheel drive systems and slick shifting dual-clutch gearboxes. And even more fortunately, we found somewhere where we can use all of those to very good effect. Here on a road called the Col du Souillet, we put Audi systems to the test. Using Drive Select, we set the A3 up in dynamic mode, giving sharper steering, acceleration and gear changes. The new electromechanical steering felt good, the suspension soaked up everything in its path, and Quattro all-wheel drive made sure there was always plenty of grip. Quattro A3s are also fitted with an electronic limited slip diff, which through some very clever programming makes sure that power is sent to the front wheel with the most grip. The Quattro system runs a front biased setup for regular driving, but is able to shift power to the rear wheels in a few milliseconds. Also available as an option is Audi's magnetic ride system, which firms up shocks for extra grip and control. Of course, not everybody's got a conveniently located mountain pass through which they can thrash an A3 on an everyday basis, but fortunately, this car doesn't mind an ordinary commute. The suspension isn't rock hard when you're not pushing it. In fact, it's quite comfortable. The steering is easy. The gearbox doesn't mind taking it slow. In fact, for a proper driving machine, this is a very flexible car. For those of you already drooling at the prospect of getting your hands on the 1.8 TFSI Quattro, you'll have to wait a little longer. This model is only being launched in March next year. The initial A3 rollout in November this year will include a 1.4 TFSI, a 1.6 TDI, and the front-wheel drive 1.8 TFSI. February 2013 will see the arrival of a 77 kilowatt 1.2 TFSI petrol. While we were having fun on one of the world's better driving roads in a small Spanish town, it was easy to forget that the A3 is about more than just driving thrills. As the daddy of the premium compact segment, it has a lot to live up to in terms of refinement and driver comfort, something that its biggest rival, the BMW 1 Series, has no shortage of. Join us after the break to find out if the A3 can match its rivals or not. The idea of premium in a car is about stylish looks and a good drive, but it's more about what goes on in here. What kind of materials have they used? How much technology is there? And most importantly, what are the toys like? Out of all the things in the A3, the most obvious amount of effort has been spent on this interior. The most noticeable thing about the A3 cabin isn't that it's just as well built or as well finished as any other Audi, but that it's taken a step forward in terms of design. It isn't just easy to use and comfortable to sit in, it's fantastic to look at. It's minimal and uncluttered and luxurious. Where most manufacturers like to borrow parts from other models to fit into other models, the A3 is almost bespoke, with very few recognizable parts from any other Audi. Its concept car in its approach, with controls, design and technology, a very clear step ahead of its competition. The MMI system, already the best in the game, has taken it up another level with a slicker interface and list of menus that make it seem like this car is infinitely customizable. The exterior dimensions of the new A3 are basically identical to the outgoing model, but through clever packaging of the mechanical bits, they've managed to increase interior space. That means that even rear passengers have decent room, and the boot remains a usable size. And then there's the safety stuff. They haven't just concentrated on things to make your life easier in here. They've included things that help you live longer. Things like active lane assist, which will actually adjust your steering if it thinks you're drifting out of your lane. It's got adaptive cruise control and a system called Audi Presense, which, if you enjoy indulging in South Africa's favorite pastime of talking on your phone while driving in traffic, the Presense system will bring the car to a complete stop under 30 kilometers an hour if you're not concentrating and it thinks you're about to have an accident. Other safety stuff includes a blind spot monitoring system and traffic sign recognition. For those who struggle with parallel parking, the A3 has a park assist function which uses ultrasonic sensors to detect a parking space. The system will automatically steer the car into position, with the driver only having to accelerate, brake and shift gear, and it'll help you squeeze into a space with just 40 centimeters to spare on either end of the car. Audi have been very clever about the packaging of the A3. They've concentrated on what makes a premium car premium and chucked in as many things as a fair market price would allow. Not only have they included things that aren't available on anything else in its class, like LED headlights, which are available later, they've included things that aren't even available in any other Audi. Like this, the touch wheel, a combination of the touchpad available in the A7 and A8 and the MMI's control wheel. We spend some very enjoyable driving time behind the wheel of the A3, but when it comes down to it, pure driving isn't what this car is about. Through a clever combination of style, comfort, intelligent engineering and impressive technology, Audi have created a package that has redefined what a premium compact car should be. It's not just about comfort or an impressive spec sheet, it's also about safety, efficiency and to some degree, including the kinds of things that would make drivers of more expensive machinery wonder why they don't have the kind of tech in their cars that's available in the new A3. I'd really been looking forward to the launch of the new A3 purely because BMW's 1 Series was such a good package. I was very keen to see what Audi's response would be. The new car's weakest point is that it's a rather meek restyling of the old one. Having said that, it's still a strong design. It offers a great drive and the kind of technology that would be considered decent in cars much higher up the pecking order. The only thing to consider then is price, which is yet to be confirmed. But barring an outrageous sticker price, I'd have to say that the A3 has reclaimed its crown. The 1.8 TFSI motor is a smooth, strong unit which is flexible enough to handle everyday traffic and at the same time provide real enjoyment on challenging roads. Once again, the A3 is the benchmark in the premium compact sector, combining style, comfort and impressive technology. Pity the styling isn't as progressive as the rest of the car.